Hey friends, so this is going to be a little bit of a different vlog post here, just kind of talking to you guys. So this is our dog Huckleberry, and we've had him for about 8 years. He's definitely part of our family. Looking at him right now, you probably wouldn't notice much, but this little guy, let's see if he lifts up his face. So this is not his normal face. I'll try to insert a picture of him with his normal face and some pictures along the way. But last night before we went to bed, we let the dogs out. So we have 8 dogs. Yeah, I know, we're crazy. We're foster failures. We foster them and end up keeping them. So we were letting the dogs out for the last time for the evening. And then my daughter went to go get them. She said, there's a weird sound. It sounds like our barbecue's leaking or something. And so we walked outside, and as soon as we walked outside, I was like, that's not the barbecue leaking, that's a rattlesnake. Now, this little guy, he's like so tired. Was bit by a rattlesnake before and, you know, survived. We didn't know he was bit by a rattlesnake. He just started getting sick. And it wasn't until he finally let us see, because we knew he had been hit by something, like we didn't know if he was kicked by a cow or something, but we knew something was wrong. And so the time we actually could finally look at it, we saw the puncture wounds and realized that he was actually probably bit by a rattlesnake, and that's what happened. But so last night when this happened, we were like, oh no, here we go again. He's, you know, was bit by a rattlesnake, or we didn't know actually at first. He's going to sleep and he's rolling his eyes, which looks really creepy. Oh, poor baby. So last night, when my daughter said that, we went outside, and then, like I said, when we heard the rattlesnake, I was like, oh no. He's always alerted to rattlesnakes after that first rattlesnake bite, and he barks and he lets us know. He stays away, he doesn't get too close, so he's done really good with that. But he was quiet. He wasn't going up there. So we immediately said to bring all the dogs inside, because we could hear it, we didn't know where it was, and it was dark. So we had my daughter bring all the dogs inside, and I said, can you check the dogs for any bites? And he went over and laid on his bed, and she wants to tell you what made her think something was wrong.
He had blood on his nose, and he was shaking, and he didn't bark, which was weird for him because he always barks. And he wouldn't, when we see a snake, he doesn't go inside, he stays outside, like with my parents when they're killing it. But I told my dad that he got bit but there was like another red dot, which probably was just like a little blood or whatever, it looked like it. He said he was probably just trying to get to it, and I was thinking like he wouldn't do that because he always stays far away. But why he probably got this, because my dog goes after lots of things like snoring toads and scorpions, and I've gotten bit and has swelled up because of these things. So he was probably like getting between them, and he got bit in the process of it. So
yeah, because normally he, like we said, he stays away, he barks. He actually will become obsessive about it, like bark nonstop. He stays back, but he will bark and bark and bark. And like we had one stuck in some bird netting around my garden, and even though it was stuck and couldn't go anywhere, it wasn't a rattlesnake, it was just a gopher. He wouldn't come inside because he knew that snake was out there. Like, he just has this different bark, and he will not come inside. And the fact that he came inside, he wasn't barking, and he went straight to his bed, just made me kind of go, okay. So anyways, my husband went out, he got got some boots on and got himself, you know, prepared, went outside, grabbed a shovel, and by this time I had spotted where the rattlesnake was, and it had retreated to the other side of the fence. So it was no longer in our yard. It literally probably had just crossed into our yard when we let the dogs out. And being that that's normally where our little dogs go, right to that area, I'm sure he went over there and put himself in between him, because like I said, he normally stays back. So yeah, my husband ended up killing the snake, which I know we don't normally like to kill snakes. We're all about keeping racers and king snakes and gopher snakes and whatever snakes we can that are not dangerous around, because we know they will help keep rattlesnakes away. But being it was a rattlesnake, you know, we were like, no. And so while my husband was killing the snake, I was using the flashlight and looking on the ground, and I saw some more blood, and I said, you know what? This is definitely more than just a scratched nose from like you know, trying to reach it through the fence. It was on this side. It was away from the fence. And what?
And I was out there and I was like, hopefully it was bleeding, but Dad just said that it was some blood from the fence trying to get to it, and that's when she ran inside and he was shaking and he was swelling up, so.
Yeah, so we came inside and he was laying here on his beanbag and he was just shaking uncontrollably. You could see the blood dripping out of his nose from 2 spots, and I'm like, he was bit. No doubt about it, he was bit. And this was 9:45. We live about 2 hours away from any kind of 24-hour vet. So we knew that that wasn't an option, being it was on his nose, and that, you know, it was a rattlesnake bite for sure, you know, diamondback. So the next thing I could think of was I used to volunteer at the horse rescue. I kind of started my channel towards the end of my volunteer times. I wish I would have been doing it back then, because it was an amazing place and I loved volunteering there, and it's literally like 5 minutes from our home. But just with our schedule, I could no longer manage to do it. But I know we treated horses quite often that would get bit in the nose because they're grazing. They usually get bit in their nose by rattlesnakes. So immediately I was like, nose bite, rattlesnake, horse rescue. They have a laser treatment and a couple other things that we do for helping the horses. So I called, and I was so thankful that that the lady answered, and I was able to, she said, bring him over. If you can get him in the car, bring him over. So we brought him over to there. We started laser treatments. She gave him a couple shots. We gave him some Benadryl. His face continued to swell. And like I said, I'll show you some pictures here. I'll insert some pictures, and you could definitely hear him, you know, having a little harder time breathing. He remained calm the whole time. Like, he's been chill like this the whole time. And so we did treatments that night, and they just sent us home with the lasers. And for the rest of the night, about every hour and a half, I would get up and I would do another treatment on him. Gave him another set of shots, and gave him a bunch of, he's been drinking water. He did eat today and yesterday, but he did throw it up, which is expected because his body's going to try to get that toxins out of him. And the fact that he's been drinking lots of water and peeing is good. He's, you know, we took him for a couple little short walks, just try to get, you know, things moving because now we're in a detox period. And then we're going to also have to watch for secondary infection, or for infection to happen where his nose was bit, because that's another concern, is that could happen. It could rot off where he has no, you know, and like I said, it's right here on the tip of his nose. I don't even know if you can still see it, not with this lighting, but he literally got right there, he got it, and right here. So it was literally right on the tip of his nose. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You know, we're putting on some oils, we're doing what we can. I know, you know, that vets have an anti-venom, but I also know that because of our location, it wasn't an option. And because of the location that he was bit on. So this way he actually started treatment within maybe about 10 minutes, if that, after being bit. And so for him, his chance of recovery is a lot better. It's been 24 hours now. I know this is just fun. You're just looking at a picture of my dog right now, but at the time it was happening, recording and sharing was not a priority. But at the same time, you know, I just wanted to kind of share this story with you, because we do share our life here on this channel and kind of what happens and what goes on living out in the country, living in the farm. And that's just a reality of, you know, living out here. It definitely reminds us to be cautious. For the next couple months is kind of our peak rattlesnake season. Scorpions, toads, poisonous toads, all of those things right now. We've had a lot of rain, and this is kind of like when they're out a lot trying to stock up before they hibernate for winter. So they're a lot more active at this point, and you just have to be so cautious. And at the same time, because we've had so much rain, there's a lot of overgrowth in our backyard that needs to be taken care of. Our backyard itself isn't so bad. It's the areas surrounding it that can you know, get overgrown. But just sharing with you guys what happened this week. I'll keep you guys posted. I believe he'll be doing good. I'll definitely, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I haven't posted about it yet on there. On my private page I did, but I'll post any updates and things like that on there as well, so you guys can see that. And that Instagram is at livingyoungcountrygirl.com, or at livingyoungcountrygirl for Instagram. So there you guys go. Just a little bit of a story time here. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Like I said, just sharing life with you guys, and yeah, that's it. I would say, you know, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, but it's a situation that you don't really like, but at the same time, if you like just hearing about things that, you know, happen. And yeah, there, my daughter said 1 like equals 1 prayer for our huckleberry here. So that's going to be all for tonight. I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed evening, and we'll talk to you guys all real soon. Bye.